welcome to CS Students Tutorial, where today we will be learning and making you a square root simplifying pro. We'll be learning square roots, irrational functions, and even imaginary numbers, so stay tuned and let's go in.
For our first example, we have square root of 121. The first thing we need is to find a number that multiplied by itself will give us 121. So 11 times 11 is 121. For our second example, we have a decimal answer. So which number that multiplied by itself will give us something near 91? The answer is 9 times 9 because it's 81. We do the subtraction and add up the 0 to the 10 to make it 1,000. Then, the 9 is part of the answer and we will multiply by 2 to make it 18. But we will add a number to make it 180. So, 184 times 4, it's 736. And the 185 times 5, it's 925. It is the most nearest number to the 1,000. So, the 0.5 is now part of the answer. We do the subtraction. 1,000 minus 925, it's 75. We add 2 zeros and do the same procedure we did by multiplying 9.5 times 2 to make it 190. Then 1,903 times 3, it's 5,709. While 1,904 times 4, it's 7,616. But because 7,616 is greater than 7,500, it is the multiple of 3. We add the 3 to the final answer and subtract 7,500 minus 5,709, and our final answer is 9.53. But if you want to simplify it, instead of having decimal points, you need to know about prime numbers, that are the numbers that can be divided by itself or by 1. So we have 720 divided by 2 is 360, divided by 2 is 380, divided by 2 is 90, divided by 2 is 45, divided by 3 is 15, divided by 3 is 5, divided by 5 is 1. Now we need a formula that is square root of x is equal to x with an exponent of 1/2. We simplify it by dividing by 2, and then we will multiply the numbers outside the square root, and now we have our answer.
Now I'll be showing you how to solve an irrational function, which is similar to the problem we just did. First, let's do the LCM of 1296. Remember to use the prime numbers, which now ends the LCM. So now, we will now rewrite 1296 to its LCM and break down x to the 37 and y to the 11 like this, so they can also be multipliable by 1/2. Like last time, we get the numbers multipliable by 1/2 outside the square root and the ones that can't inside. In this case, it's just x and y since they have an exponent of 1. Now just simplify and multiply numbers and put the variables together. And there you have it. Imaginary numbers. We have negative 36i to the 203. For this, let's get the rules of imaginary numbers straight. I to the 1 equals I to the 2 equals -1, I to the 3 equals -I, and I to the 4 equals 1. But the most important ones are the last two I just mentioned. So now, like last time, let's break down I to the 203 so it can be multipliable or simplifiable, if you'd like to call it that, by 4. So we can later turn this into I to the 4. Negative 36 times I to the 4 to the 50 times I to the 3. Now, I to the 4 is 1, therefore it's basically 1 to the 50. So don't worry, we're technically doing negative 36 times 1 times -I. And that gives us an answer of 36i.
Thank you to all for watching. We hope you learned, and goodbye.